range scare you away? The cars are rolling in for caffeine and octane. Fill up on some coffee, top off the octane, and head on down.
One of the cool things about caffeine octane, in the middle of a rainstorm, brand new Lambo, old hot rod with no hood on it coming out.
Love the color.
Plum crazy purple.
Look at that.
Now this is a pimp ride right here.
Crazy.
What are you doing? Yes, there's just no other way to say it. The weather sucks.
It's freezing.
Look, there's gonna be no one here today.
They will be here. There will be people
No
here.
way, Skip.
I will buy, look, there'll be no more than 5 cars next time.
I need that in
I'll buy
writing.
coffee. I'll buy coffee.
Skip, it's 40 degrees outside. The rain is blowing sideways. Why would you bring a nice car out here? People,
Now,
who's
look,
gonna be walking around?
Supposedly, my friend Matt Kozoff is gonna come. He's got a place called the Retrofit Source, really cool lighting guy.
First thing you'll probably notice, obviously the snakeskin, but the projector itself is capable of producing a much brighter beam compared to that of the factory headlight.
But, I mean, you think he'll show?
I don't think he'll show.
I don't
Listen,
either.
I got a guy. If he shows up, it's gonna be hot because the car is crazy hot.
I hope so. I'm freezing.
Everything is flames. Your guitars are flames.
Yeah, well, I have a flame thing. Right now, it just looks naked. When it's outlined, it's just gonna come alive.
If they're car guys, they'll show up.
We'll see. Hey, we're here at Deep South Deli and Pub, and I'm here to see the front man for Cycle DeVille's Walt Richards. Man, I hear he's a hell of a guitar player. Also, I hear he can paint. He can paint cars and motorcycles. Speaking of the man, there he is, Walt Richards. What's up, dude?
What are you doing here?
What's up? I came to see you play.
Come on, really?
And hopefully get to see you paint tomorrow or something.
I won't be painting tomorrow.
No paint?
I'm gigging tomorrow, but you should have been here last week, man.
You had something crazy?
I did something so insane. I did a 50 Mercury, a chopped 50 Mercury that had so much flames on it. It was covered every inch,
Flames
head to
again,
toe,
huh?
top to bottom, front to back. 1,700 feet of hand pinstriped outline around every lick of every flame
On one car?
on one car.
1,700 feet
Yeah, for real.
of pinstriping.
Yeah. A friend of mine in Nashville, his name is Chris St. Clark, the famous tattoo artist. He says, I want you to flame my car. So he had to ship down here from Nashville to Atlanta, and he had some trouble with the shipping. And it ended up taking an extra week and a half to get.
Get the car?
Yeah. So I had a crunch deadline to have this car done in 3 days.
No, the whole car?
I don't even know why I took it on at this point. Rolls and rolls and rolls of tape. Well, 1,700 feet of blue fine line, actually more than that, to do all the outline. You push it on there with your finger, and your fingers are raw meat when you're done. And then rolls and rolls and rolls of masking tape to back tape it all,
To back tape it.
to fill in everything that doesn't look like a flame.
So now you can rest, right?
No. The problem is when you do one of these jobs, when you deal with tape, it's time sensitive. So from the moment you put that first piece of tape on, you can't stop until you spray it. The tape is going to want to come undone.
Right.
So once you get going, you got to keep going. Let's call it Mercury Man Gold. And then, once it's painted, you really can't stop either because you can't leave that tape on there.
You gotta get it off.
You gotta get off of there before it becomes a permanent fixture.
Because it'll stick, it'll get too sticky, it'll start sticking.
It'll start to bite in, and then it'll leave a permanent mark in the paint job. So you tape it off, you back tape it, you paint it, wipe it down, then paint it, and then you got to pull all that tape off, that $300 for the tape, and throw it in a garbage can. It's either going to come off or it's going to bite in. So that time is crucial. So even though I had a short time to get this done, whether I had to be back in Nashville or not, it had to be done. Finally, after all these layers and layers of things to do, we're going to pull off the last few pieces here and contribute it to the world's largest tape ball.
I see everything is flames. Your guitar's a flame. I hear you light it on fire.
Yeah, well, I have a flame thing. And there's backstories to flames too. You know, like I have this song called Flames about the day everything I own burned to the ground. And when I lived in Florida, I had a big fire and it burned up 20 cars in my shop and all my trees on my property, about $500,000 burned to the ground. And because a lot of my stuff had flames on it, I thought it was kind of ironic that that day, everything I had flames on it. Right now, it just looks naked. When it's outlined, it's just gonna come alive. 1,500 feet of hand-painted outline around every single one of these licks.
My dad used to have his cars pinstriped by hand way back in the day. I'm talking in the 70s, his Cadillac. And ever since then, I haven't seen nobody that hand does it.
Not a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
It's a lost art for sure. It's a big emergency to get this thing done in time. For a big car show that's got to go up to in Tennessee, but he promises he'll have it back for a big reveal at Caffeine and Octane. So next time you see it, you're going to see a done deal finished car, and I think you're going to like it.
97 Acura NSX. McLaren used it as their benchmark when developing the F1 back in the early 90s.
Is this thing as hot on the inside as it is on the outside?
Such a beautiful day here in hot Atlanta, and it's cold and rainy. I'm amazed at the number of people that came out today. I talked my son into bringing out one of his cars today, and it's a pretty special car.
It's a 1979 BMW 320 Thar with a Alpina tripper. As you can see, it has a removable section here and a soft top in the back, which goes back. There was never a traditional convertible that BMW made, so Bauer converted all these to a drop top.
How's it to drive?
It is an absolute blast to drive. I mean, it's like a little rocket ship.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now has a 2.7 stroker with a 5-speeder.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice and tidy conversion from carburation to fuel injection. They really did this one right.
Well, thanks for letting me talk you into dragging this out here today.
Absolutely.
Well, the cold rain have not kept the faithful away, but it did send my old friend to warmer and drier conditions. Hey, Brian, how's that prototype Ducati coming along?
Yes, Skip. Our Ducati limited edition flat tracks are coming along nicely. Thanks for asking. Bodywork is finished, the frame is done, the pipes are tacked together and finished. We are ready to roll, except for a headlight. Matt, I mean, where are my parts? 2 years, I think. I need some parts. Need a light.
I'm bringing the parts over. I'm bringing them over, man. Just hang tight. I'll be right there.
I've been patient. How patient do I need to be?
First, what we're gonna do though is talk about some of my cars and some of the lighting upgrades that we've done on them.
You know, if you want the really good pieces that are made for you, you wait. And you wait.
You know, if I had to pick one car to talk about first, you know, my favorite ultimately is gonna be this 97 Acura NSX-T. It's one of 20 in white. It has almost $100,000 worth of OEM NSXR parts on it. Shift's super crispy, brakes are perfect, thing is super well balanced. Actually so well balanced that McLaren used it as their benchmark when developing the F1 back in the early 90s. But the thing that I like most about it is that, you know, the engine. It's supercharged, so that helps. And it's fast, but it's not too fast. So, you know, it's the kind of thing where I can rev the piss out of it to 8,000 RPM without going 0 to under arrest before I'm even in second gear. So, you know, for me, I just love driving that thing. But one of the worst things about cars from the 90s is the headlights. Obviously, 15, 20 years ago, they didn't have quite the performance that they do today, but we've definitely fixed all that. So what I'll do is I'll show you what we've done in this Acura, which did not originally have HID lights. We did a few just basic LED upgrades inside, but we've also rebuilt the factory projector with a new optic that really helps to make the most of the available light and put it out on the ground ahead of you. I think today lighting is actually really trendy. I mean, if you notice, a lot of original equipment manufacturers are doing a lot of cool LED lights on cars. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people who don't own a brand new car are obviously trying to emulate that, and we have a lot of upgrades that people can use to do that. Something else a little bit more intensive that we've done is something like on this 97 Viper GTS of mine. This thing's got just under 9,000 miles, so it's perfect. Again, what's not perfect? The stock headlights. However, we took these apart and we put in a Morimoto bi-xenon projector. Go ahead and I'll kick that thing on so you can take a look at it. First thing you'll probably notice, obviously the snakeskin in the lens is there, but the projector itself is capable of producing a much wider beam, a much brighter beam, and a much better focus beam compared to that of the factory headlight. The most important thing is that it gives you all that available light into a beam pattern that's cast on the ground below. You can see that the light is much brighter, much whiter, and a lot wider too. And there's no glare to oncoming traffic like you would get with this reflector. Therefore, better visibility for the driver, better safety for oncoming traffic due to that reduced glare. So in a car, it's obviously important for you to see where you're going. But on a motorcycle, it's just as important to be seen as it is to be able to see yourself. And that brings me back to some of the prototypes that we got on the table here from our cooperation with Fuller. So what we're looking at here is two different products that we developed. And this thing is actually a nifty little way to eliminate the front turn signals from the bike and also add a daytime running light feature. And it also has a turn signal function, which is where we get back to keeping the thing legal. So when the thing is signaled to go to the amber mode by the turn signal circuit, as you can see, that will happen in the same exact piece, and then it will automatically go back to the white mode. Pretty nifty. I know Brian's gonna love these things, and you know, I'm pretty excited to bring them over and show him what we got.
I was starting to wonder, yeah, is he ever gonna bring these parts? You know how it is? I mean, somebody tells you, I'm gonna make you these really cool parts, I'm gonna have them to you, they're almost done. There he is, just in the nick of time.
My man.
Thanks for coming, man.
Oh, man.
Really appreciate it.
How you doing?
Awesome.
Got the lights, gonna be doing a little bit better.
You got the goods, man.
Headlight for the flat track, a couple different kinds of little indicators that we drew up a little while back.
Look at that.
Check it out.
Perfect as that.
Yeah, it was coming. A little bar end indicator, this can go right on the end of the handlebar. Daytime running light built in.
Yeah. It's gonna work good because once the grip is in here, it'll slide over. Right. And we get that's a yellow. It's a yellow blinker.
Exactly. It's not only, you know, cool in the way that it looks good, you know, it's custom, but it's also a safety feature because, you know, the LED technology is much brighter and more noticeable for oncoming traffic.
Nice. That's gonna be fun.
Super freaking bright too.
You going tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take off. I gotta go pretty early in the morning, but
It's supposed to, dude. It looks
nasty. You know, yeah, that's excellent. I'll deal with it.
This is weather no one should show up to. No one. But they probably will.
No problem. We'll make it happen.
I appreciate you bringing it.
Yeah, dude. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, man.
Well, you told me about this thing, but golly.
In the middle of a rainstorm, brand new Lambo, old hot rod with no hood on it, just hanging out here in the rain.
Man, Skip, can you believe this day?
Another beautiful day in Atlanta.
You call this beautiful? Listen, to me, this is like a nor'easter in Georgia. Here they go right here.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Boy, that is a lot of work.
He told me all about the process of doing it, but I have not seen it.
Is this thing as hot on the inside as it is on the outside?
Not today.
Well, you told me about this thing, but golly, how many days?
Well, it was kind of a world record for me. We only had 3 days to do it.
3 days, Brian.
I think that would take me 3 weeks.
3 months.
How about 3 years?
We literally had the car cut and polished less than 12 hours. Took it to Redneck Rumble, won the Dirty Dozen Award.
Awesome. Wow.
Just out of fun, I counted the licks on here, and it's 197.
Really?
That's right, 197 individual flame licks.
Didn't you have anything better to do
No,
than
I did
count
not.
licks?
No, stand around drinking beer and count flames.
Listen, I want to talk, your NSX
Yeah.
has always been my dream car. How many years did they make the NSX?
They discontinued them in '05 for the first body style, and then they just brought them back again in 2016, obviously with the new hybrid.
Started in 91, I think. didn't it?
Started in 91, that's
Yeah,
right.
91.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you know what NSX means?
What?
New sports experience.
Is it really?
See, I never knew that. New sports
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Huh?
Brian would know.
Learn something new every day, dude.
Yeah.
This thing's got about $100,000 worth of like JDM NSX-R parts on it, which you basically can't even buy unless you provide Honda with a VIN number from an NSX-R. It's got carbon fiber hood, the OEM, Sparco, carbon Kevlar seats, supercharged, you know, compact suspension,
It's
everything.
every kid's dream car back
Oh
then.
yeah.
So, you guys want to walk around?
Yeah.
Let's go see some
Absolutely.
cars.
A lot more cars to see. See you later.
All right.
Octane in the morning. Ooh, check that out. Lambo. Is that a brand new?
Yeah, this guy's crazy bringing this thing out here.
Wow. I'd still drive it, but, you know, at the end of the day, I would still probably prefer the old hot rod.
Yeah, this thing's right up your alley, that's for sure.
It's just my speed, you know? Suicide axle here in the front. That takes your car out. You hit something. Got the airbag set up. Channel slammed.
Sitting right on the ground.
No
Look at
doubt,
this thing.
right?
The exhaust is basically scraping right on the concrete there. Dude, they could be driving down the street and just sparks flying.
It's just about as low as the brand new Lambo.
That's awesome.
That's what I love too, is that one of the cool things about Caffeine Octane is in the middle of a rainstorm, brand new Lambo, old hot rod with no hood on it coming out.
Just hanging out here in the rain.
Plum Crazy Purple. I put a theme to the car as the Joker.
Look at that Lincoln. That is awesome. Man, I could cruise all day in this.
Man, I like these Challengers. And this purple one, love the color. The color is called Crazy Plum.
Plum Crazy Purple.
Plum Crazy,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
about it.
Oh,
Plum
yeah,
Crazy.
that's why I picked this one, is because the original Dodge line back in the early 70s had Plum Crazy Purple, and this is true to that color.
So Dodge came out with a factory color. Interesting.
Beautiful color.
You did a lot to this, man. I love the lights.
I put a theme to the car as the Joker.
The Joker?
Yeah, so it's got a mural of the Joker underneath in the hood and some other things.
Oh, yeah.
So when I originally gave the picture to the guy, we had Gotham in the back, and I had him do the Atlanta skyline.
So is this a 6.4 motor?
Yes.
Wow, and they make how much from the factory now?
470 is actually what it's advertised. I've done a little bit of work to this. I haven't cracked open the engine, but put some headers and some high
Cold
flow
air
cats
intake.
and cold air intake,
Okay.
Solo Performance exhaust.
Yeah, but this is the details. Joker on the reservoir, all your billet stuff here. Good job with it.
Thank you.
Now this is a pimp ride right here. Look at that Lincoln. Wait, what year is that?
1979.
Can we sit inside? It's really cold.
Come on in, Mr. President.
Yes. Man, in the 70s, you know, this would have been rolling in style. Look how cush this is, huh?
Man, this is plush.
Man, I could cruise all day in this.
I haven't felt the seat this cushy for a long time.
I know. How much was this new?
14,000.
Boy, you could probably get these for a mint now. There's just none left. They crushed all of them.
Yeah, this thing's sweet.
So, what do you say we go for a little cruise?
I'm ready to go.
Let's do it.
Turn up that heat.
We'll catch you next time on Caffeine and Octane.